Okay, good morning, class. So today is our week 4 of our English, and we will be discussing the use of past tense correctly in varied contexts. So on your previous topic, we already discussed about verbs, tenses, some tenses of verbs like the present, past, and the future tenses. Now we are just going to continue the topic, okay? But before that, weekly, we are integrating reading integration as part of Brigada Basa. This is to allow students to at least practice their tongue in reading, and not just their tongue, but for you to be able to read well and to understand some context. So now we will read first. And take note that the underlined words here are some of the verbs. And when you say verbs, these are action or occurrence or indicate of a state of being. So let's read. It says, when men decided to divide the day into 24 hours, they used numbers 1 through 12 two times. And as a result, there is 1 o'clock during the day and another 1 o'clock after midnight. This created confusion. If one is told to submit a project at 6 o'clock, did this mean 6 o'clock in the morning or at night? The Romans provide a solution to this problem. They think that noontime, the time when the sun is at its apex, is an important time, and they call noon meridius and measure time by this. They call the morning antemeridiem, which means before noon, while afternoon is called postmeridiem. Antemeridiem class is shortened to AM, while postmeridiem is shortened to PM. So when they ask you what time is it, it's 7 a.m. So AM means again antemeridiem, and PM means post-meridiem. Okay? So let's move on to our topic. Simple past tense. So again, we will be discussing about tenses and verbs, and also with regular and irregular verbs, helping verbs, and the like. Okay? So verbs again are action words that describe, verbs are words that describe an action or occurrence or indicate a state of being. So, previously, you already discussed, or your teacher already discussed you about words or verbs, which is action. There is an action, there is an act, right? For example, dance, eat, talk. When you say mental, understand, hope, think, choose. And says when verbs are used to refer to a state of being, linking verbs and helping verbs are used. Okay. So tense is the time expressed by a verb. Let's move on to past tense. Past tense class means the action has already taken place. Tapos na. Nangyari na yung action. And the time markers used are the following words. So, yesterday, last night, a few minutes ago, etc. For example, when did you go there? And you will say, or you will answer them, I went there yesterday. Why did you use yesterday? Kasi nga po, tapos na. Okay? So, again, verbs may be categorized as either regular or irregular verbs also. And says, to form the regular verb, make some changes in the spelling, particularly the vowels. So, regular verbs plus D. Dance plus D, danced. Use plus D, used. Love plus D, loved. Regular verbs plus ED. Walk plus ED, walked. Paint plus ED, painted. Look plus ED, looked. Okay? In here, when you pronounce it, there are verbs here that the last letter should sound letter T, just like the word look. It's not just look, looked. Something like that. Okay? is the word use. When it's a regular verb, used. The last sound you should hear the letter T. Okay? So used, looked, walked, something like that. Okay? And then, to form the irregular verb, make some changes in the spelling, particularly the vowels. So, irregular verbs, for example, are go, shake, strike, buy, write, break. And then, if you will form it as past form, go, went, shake, shook, strike, struck, buy, bought. Sorry, not bought, bought, write, wrote, break, broke. Okay? So, be verbs also is and are when used in the past tense become was and were. Okay, take note class that we are talking about past form of verbs. Ibig sabihin nun, nandun siya sa present, tas ginagawa natin siyang past. Ginagawa natin siyang past tense. Kaya nga yung be verbs, take note be verbs, anong mga example nun? Is and are. Ano daw yung past tense ng is? Was. Ano naman daw yung past tense ng are? Were. Right? Was is used when the subject is singular. Kung nag-iisa yung subject, yung bagay or taong pinag-uusapan dun sa sentence, gagamitin mo yung was or is kasi singular siya. For example, she is a grade 7 student. Okay? Ano yung past tense nun? She was a grade 7 student. Alright? On the other hand, sa kabilang banda, where is used when the subject is two or more. Kapag naman yung subject ay dalawa o mas marami pa, gagamitin mo yung are. Tapos kapag past tense na, gagamitin mo yung where kasi tapos na. Okay? So, you are an excellent dancer. Yun ang sample nasa present tense siya. Pag ginawa mo siyang past tense, you were an excellent dancer. Kasi nga, ibig sabihin, naging excellent dancer ka, baka tinamad ka, hindi ka na naman sumayaw or anything. So, that's why you were. Ibig sabihin, naging. Past na yon. Okay? Let's move on to helping verbs. The helping verbs do and does, when used in the past tense, become did. Examples, present tense, it does not change its color. Nasa present tense yun. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa tapos. Past tense, it did not change its color. Ibig sabihin yung did. Kasi yung does, yung past tense niya ay did. Very good or correct. Does she talk in a loud voice? Does she talk in a loud voice? Past tense, did she talk in a loud voice? Okay? So take note also class, when you use did in a question, the verb should always be in the present tense. Hindi siya nag-iiba. Did she talk in a loud voice? Ibig di ba yung talk, hindi mo siya lalagyan ng ed. Hindi mo siya gagawing past yung talk kahit tapos na. Bakit? Kasi ginamit mo na yung salitang did. Ang did kasi past tense na. So, dapat yung verb mo laging nasa present tense. Laging nasa present kapag ginagamit mo yung did. Okay? Tapos sa does naman, does she talk in a loud voice? Yung verb mo, pag ginamit mo yung does, sa tanong, yung verb mo ay magiging plural form. Naintindihan? Kasi ang singular ng talk, talks. Right? Pero kasi dahil ginamit mo yung does, yung verb mo dyan magiging always in the plural form. Naintindihan? Does she mean? Something like that. Okay? Kapag ginawa mo namang past tense, did she mean? Did she mean it? Nasa plural form pa rin yung verb. Pero nasa plural form na nasa present tense. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya ginagawang past tense. Okay? So, we use the simple past to list a series of completed actions in the past. And this action happened first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Examples. I finished the project submitted on time and receive a good grade. Okay. Where are the simple past there? Finished, submitted, receive. Okay? Sheila ate. Simple past. Verb yan ha. A sandwich, drank a glass of juice, and felt satisfied with her snack. Again, the teacher discussed, ganun ang pag-pronounce dun ha. Yung last sound niya dapat parang letter T. Discussed. Hindi siya discuss lang. Kasi kapag discuss, present tense. Present siya, hindi siya tapos. Pero kapag discussed, dapat naririnig yung letter T na sound doon, magiging past form siya. Magiging simple past tense siya. Okay? So the teacher discussed the lesson, gave an activity, and checked the students' output. And then do not forget the time markers are also used in the simple past tense. Time markers are words such as yesterday, last night, and a year ago are used with verbs in the past tense. Examples. Present form again. I write a letter today. Ibig sabihin, gumawa lang siya ng letter ngayong araw na to. Pag ginawa mo siyang past form, tapos na, I wrote a letter yesterday. Kasi ginawa mo yun kahapon. Diba? Yesterday is kahapon. Today is ngayon. Naintindihan? Again, the boy rides his bicycle every day. The boy, sabi niya, yung bata daw ay sumasakay siya ng kanyang bisikleta araw-araw. Ibig sabihin, nasa present tense siya kasi lagi niyang ginagawa. Ang past form niya ay the boy rode. Rode ha kasi tapos na nga. Kapag present, ride. Kapag past, rode his bicycle a few minutes ago. Alright, so let's move on to the engagement part. So you will be making, number 1, letter A, give the past form of the verb in the parentheses. That's learning task 1. Write your answer on your paper. Number 1, last year, take to, this would be a bonus 1. Ibobonus ko na lang to. Last year, ibig sabihin, matapos na yon. I blank to vegan on a holiday. The verb is go. So, ano magiging past tense, past form ng go? Ang sagot ay went. Very good. So, bonus na yung number 1 ha. So, last year, I went to vegan on a holiday. Okay? And number 2, 3, 4, 5 will be answered by you, of course. Okay, assimilation, learning task 2. During the COVID-19 pandemic, most teenagers engage in hobbies to while away their boredom. What particular hobby did you engage in to express your creativity? Observe the use of the simple past tense. Note, examples of hobbies are gardening, baking, painting, and sketching. Write a paragraph about it. Ano sabihin ng assimilation? Ngayong pandemic daw, syempre, yung teenager ay na-engage tayo sa mga hobby kasi nga quarantine, lockdown, ganun. So, lumabas yung mga ginagawa natin. Ano yung mga hobby means? Ano yung mga gustong-gusto mong gawin? Na nagpalabas ng yung creativity. For example, marunong ka pa mag-drawing, mag-painting, like that. So, gardening, baking, painting, singing, lahat na may ing, cooking. And, gagawa ka ng paragraph na ganyan, gagamitin mo ay past form ng verbs. For example, during COVID pandemic, I engage myself into reading. Engage. Lagyan mo ng D kasi nga tapos na. Okay? Or, pwede mo namang sabihin doon na, during COVID-19, I have been engaging. I have been engaging. Ibig sabihin nun, continuous pa siya. Ginagawa mo pa rin. Okay? So, it's your option. But basically, you can use lots of past tense. Yung mga words na tapos na. I cook, I wash the dishes, something like that. Kung gustong-gusto mo ng household chores, baka yung naging hobby mo na kasi sa bahay ka lang. So, parang gustong-gusto mo na maghugas ng mga pinggan, yung mga yon. E di yun yung sabihin mo. Make sure na nasa past tense siya. Naintindihan? And Last one is a reflection. Ano yung natutunan mo sa topic na to sa week 4? Okay, sulat mo dyan. What I have learned. Alright? So, if you have any questions regarding week 4, you can just message me, text me anytime. Alright? Bye-bye! Answer your WHLP well. Write your name, your subject, and your teacher.